part of our section 4, where we are solving systems of equations with 3 variables. Again, we have to be able to take that and apply it to the story problems. Okay. Now, we should have already watched the videos over solving by substitution and elimination. So for these story problems, because we've already talked about the solving process, I'm just going to cover how we would set up the system. Okay. So go ahead and pause the video, read through that first question. Now, as we read through this, we again want to look at the totals. So the totals are dealing around how much each person is selling. So that means that my equation has to be equal to 47, 64, and 42. So when we set it up, that means if we're basing it around each person, we have to add up the things that they're selling. So for this problem, my cookies are going to be an X, the candy is a Y, and my cupcakes are Z. And I'm just going down my column to set this up. So for Lucy, this will be 3X plus 5Y plus 9Z, and Lucy's total was 47, so it'll be equal to 47. And then now I'm going on to Laura, so 6X plus 7Y plus 9Z equals Laura's total of 64. And then Kira is going to be 4X plus 6Y plus 3Z equals 42. So this is the system that we need to set up and solve. And again, we would just choose to continue with this by substitution or elimination. So looking at this problem, I would choose elimination because none of our variables are by themselves. So if you choose substitution, that means that you're going to be dealing with fractions. Okay? And I would recommend against that. So you would want to pick one of your variables to eliminate. Again, looking at this, I would choose to eliminate the z's because I can take this equation times -3 and then add it to my first equation to cancel out. And then we would take it times -3 and add it to the second equation to get them to cancel out. So again, I'll let you do that work, and then I will post the answer key to the problem in our Google Classroom. Okay. And just, again, as another practice for this setup, so go ahead, pause the video, and read through the problem. Okay. Now again, when we write our equations, we need our equations to be equal to the totals, and then how they are defining the totals tells us how we're going to set up our equations. So when we're looking at our totals, they're basing it on the months. Okay. So if we're basing it all the months, so this is January, that means that my equations, I have to go across my table this time. So X is going to represent coats, Y is shirts, and the dresses are Z. So for my first equation, I will have 3X plus 7Y plus 6Z, and then my total for January was 89. And then for my second one for February, 5X plus 4Y plus 6Z, and then my total for February was 82. And then my last equation is going to be 4X plus 8Y plus 3Z equals 77 for March. Okay, so again, this is the system that we'd want to solve. Substitution would not be a good idea because, again, we don't have a variable by itself. So we'd want to go with elimination. And looking at our problems, Z, again, is going to be the easiest one to get rid of because I can just take this equation times -2, and then we would add it to the first equation, and then go back and add it to that second equation, and then continue our solving process.